You ever have a friend you lost touch with? Someone who just vanished from your life? Well, imagine running into them years later, only to realize they were never supposed to be there at all. I was never the kind of guy to dwell on the past. Life moves forward, right? But when I saw Charlie standing at the bar, sipping a beer like he had never left, my stomach dropped. He had that same cocky grin, the same scruffy beard, the same way he leaned against the counter, like he owned the place. "Charlie?" My voice came out hoarse, barely louder than the murmur of the crowded bar. He turned, grinned wider. "Jake! Holy hell, man. Long time no see." I froze. My hands went clammy. My heart pounded. Because Charlie had been missing for 6 years. I remember the night he disappeared. It was winter, a cold January night. He was supposed to drive home, after hanging out at my place, but he never made it. His car was found abandoned, on the side of a dirt road, engine still running. No sign of struggle. No footprints in the snow leading away. Just gone. I blinked, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. "Charlie, my man." I forced a laugh, though my skin crawled. "Where the hell have you been?" He shrugged. "What do you mean?" "I've been around. Just got back into town. Thought I'd grab a drink." "Around?" That's not what the police report said. That's not what his family believed. Something was wrong. I clinked my beer against his, forcing my hand to stay steady. "Man, we gotta catch up." He grinned. "Hell yeah, we do." We grabbed a booth in the back. I watched him closely, noting every detail. He looked the same. Exactly the same. Not older. Not different. Like he had been frozen in time. "You seriously don't remember going missing?" I asked. Charlie scoffed. "Missing? Dude, you sound like my mom. She called me like 100 times yesterday, flipping out. I told her I was fine." "Yesterday?" His mother was dead. Had been for 3 years. The room felt too small, the air thick. "Charlie, your mom passed away in cancer." His grin faltered. "What? No, man. I just talked to her." I swallowed hard. This wasn't right. This wasn't Charlie. I glanced around the bar, suddenly hyper-aware of the people around us. The laughter, the clinking glasses. Everything sounded muffled and distant. Like I was hearing it through water. I needed proof. Something solid. "Let me take a picture, man. For old time's sake." Charlie chuckled. "All right." I pulled out my phone, aimed the camera, and froze. On the screen, where Charlie should have been, was nothing. The seat across from me was empty. My breath caught in my throat. I lowered the phone, staring at him with wide eyes. He was right there, smiling and talking. But the camera saw nothing. "Dude, are you okay?" Charlie leaned forward, brow furrowing. I shot to my feet. My chair scraped loudly against the floor. "I gotta go." Charlie's expression darkened. "Jake! Sit down." Something about his voice sent chills through me. It wasn't a request. It was a command. I took a shaky step back. "I need some air." I turned, pushing through the crowded bar, heart hammering. I didn't stop until I was outside, sucking in the cold night air. My hands trembled as I pulled out my phone, Opening my contacts. Charlie's number was still saved. I hesitated, then hit dial. A couple of ringtones went out. Then a click. The number you have dialed is no longer in service. I stared at the screen, cold sweat dripping down my back. I turned, glancing back through the bar's window. Charlie was still sitting there. But now, he was staring directly at me. Smiling. And that's when I knew. Whatever that thing was, it wasn't Charlie. I stumbled back, heart pounding so hard, I could hear it in my ears. The street outside was nearly empty. Just the occasional car passing by, headlights casting long creeping shadows across the pavement. I needed answers. I drove straight to Charlie's childhood home. I barely remembered the way, but muscle memory kicked in. The house was still there, same old wooden porch, same flickering porch light. But something felt off. I knocked. No answer. I knocked again, harder this time. The door creaked open on its own. Inside, dust coated every surface. A thick layer. Like no one had lived there in years. Hello? My voice came out shaky. I stepped inside, the floorboards groaning under my weight. The air smelled stale, like old wood in decay. I moved deeper into the house, calling out again. Still no answer. Then I saw it. A framed photo, sitting on the fireplace mantel. A picture of Charlie and his mother. But the photo was faded, almost like it had been left in the sun too long. Except, the longer I stared at it, the more I realized, Charlie's face was blurry. Like he had never been there to begin with. A cold shiver ran down my spine. That's when I heard it. A whisper. Right behind me. Jake! I spun around. But the room was empty. I ran. Bolted out of the house, nearly tripping over my own feet. Got in my car and sped away, not looking back. Charlie wasn't missing. Charlie was erased. And whatever was sitting in that bar wasn't human. If you want more disturbing stories, make sure to like, share, and subscribe.